for the first great debate. This was my response to, if anybody knows that Houses in San Antonio does conduct training sessions for everyone. And usually the affiliates will come here, they're mortgage companies, title companies, warranty companies, and they'll conduct CEs for our agents. Well, this year I wanted to do something different. Because they're always the same type of affiliates, mortgage companies, title companies, and all that stuff. I thought it'd be a great thing to host debates with each one of those modalities. You know, mortgages, title companies, and all that stuff. And engage the real estate community to basically hand over your town hall questions, the most challenging questions that you have had with those types of modalities, so that we can present them in a debate setting and have the top professionals that are brave enough to debate respond to those. And so I'm going to start by telling you what the rules of my debate is. By the way, I hope you all voted today.
Last week.
Yes, or last week. Yes. Yes. It's your best benefit as an American. Exercise it. This is called a talking stick. Yes. Let me tell you about this talking stick. This talking stick was presented to me in 2003 after a family vacation to ski Apache in Ruidoso, Mexico. If you've ever had a family vacation where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, 7, 8, 9, 10 people occupy the same space, holy moly, right? There's a diverse opinions, everybody wants a chance to speak, and you know, some get offended, while the other one hasn't had a chance to finish up what they wanted to say, okay? So, and this is what the Indians used to pass the baton around and allow the others to speak and be heard. We're going to use a talking stick today. Yay. All right? So the rules of engagement are, under no circumstances are there to be derogatory statements made against one company or another. Okay? You're all professionals in your fields. There's no need for that. I'm going to make sure that there is no blood drawn. That's my role here today. Okay? The debaters will be introduced at the onset, and they'll each have 2 minutes to use to promote what they feel is the best part of their product. Okay? Each debater will have a minute to respond to a question once I start posing the town hall questions. The opposing debaters will have 30 seconds to rebut if they feel that their product has something better to offer than that of their competitors. Oh! Okay. And once all the town hall questions have been debated, we will open it up to y'all, okay? Just in case we've missed something. And then let's see. And once the audience questions are addressed, we will ask that all of you submit your vote for your best debater, and we will present them with a gift card. Okay? Courtesy of Houses in San Antonio for being brave. All right. So, our debaters are Melanie Gessner of 210 Commons. Thank you, Melanie, for joining us today. The Superman or Superman Warranty, Blake Bailey. And sexy voice, Lady Blake. RWS. And this, I want the girl in the middle.
Okay.
The Puerto Rico.
The rose between the thorns. All right? So, the categories of questions that came in fall under 4 different categories: customer service, technology, coverage, and costs. Okay? So, Nerissa Luis, did I pronounce her name right? All right. If you'll stand, please. She submitted a wonderful town hall question. Would you like to present it?
Sure.
There you go.
What is it? Let me read it.
All right. So, this is regarding technology. She has have two questions. The first one is regarding technology, and the second one is regarding cost. Oh, before I do that, sorry, because this is my first time, so please forgive my, what? I need you to have 2 minutes. Here's your talking stick on your product. Lane play.
Okay, so residential warranty services. We offer two policies. One is like an a la carte policy. It's called the Advantage Plan, and it's basically split up into whatever you want. You can make it whatever you want. But we promote highly the simple policy because it simply covers everything that everybody else doesn't. It starts off at $395. It includes termite coverage, roof coverage, sewer line, water line from the street out to onto city utility. There are 0 pre-existing conditions with a valid home inspection report. So I don't think we need 2 minutes to go over that. It is quite simple. That's hence the name. That's about it.
I love your accent.
Thank you. I'm from Manchester in England, and it's not normally like this. This is the remnants of pneumonia tagging through. So I don't normally sound this husky, but my wife's quite happy.
I can listen to you talk all day.
Barry White's got nothing on you.
So, hello everyone, Melanie Gessner, 210 Home Buyers Warranty. What sets us apart, we've been in business for 38 years, long time. We have 2 divisions. We have our new home builder division, does the 2-year, 10-year. That's one division. And then we have the resale division, which is me, doing the escrow resale transactions. So 38 years in business. We have unlimited refrigerant. So the R22 has gone up to about $100 a pound. We do not charge for any of the refrigerant, no matter what type that they have to repair their system. We do an even if service guarantee. So we honor 97.5% of our claims. But let's say that 2.5% we don't honor because maybe it's outside the foundation system. We will give your service fee money back to you if you call our company. So you're never out any money if you cannot get a repair or a replacement on the house. We do lock and key service for the service fee. And yeah. Okay, I don't think I'm going to talk 2 minutes either.
Thank you very much. Hi everyone, my name is Blake and I am with Super Home Warranty. We're a home warranty that is created out of not wanting home warranties to be the same that they've been all these years. We're a technology company that's out of Silicon Valley, and we focused on leveraging technology to redo every facet of a warranty. Our true goal is for people to look at us as a warranty that allows homeowners to own as if they're still renters. We have an entire division of our company that's just the superintendent division that allows you to call us to treat us as if we're just your friends to help you send somebody out to get a painter. If you need anything to be done around your house that you would normally ask a buddy to come over to help you with, treat us as that person. But that's only one half of what our company is. If we're to talk warranties, we understood that to come into the market, we have to match the very best that is even out there. So when you compare us and our limitations, our coverages, you know, the intricacies of some of the really cool plans and how they do covering sprinkler systems out to streets, we are unrivaled right now. And that's just all there is to it. I guess I didn't take 2 minutes out of it.
I'm proud to say that none of you did. How's that? Yeah. All right, so now, since, oh, there you go. Marissa.
You want me to ask each or all?
Well, they're gonna start with, they're all gonna respond. They all have a minute to respond to your question, and then 30 minutes to rebut. So since Blake has their talking stick, Blake will be the first to respond and pass the time.
Okay, great. So my first question was, what is the home warranty companies doing to prepare their business for millennial generation of technology?
Okay, so where we are right now, we currently have an app that does an Uber-like experience for all of our servicers. Our app, we have 2 apps, one for the homeowner, one for the servicers, and we can track exactly where they're at in town, and we send a text message to homeowners saying that your servicer is about 30 minutes away. So you don't have to wait around all day, you see exactly where they're at in your town. We also have all of our information is stored on our databases in San Francisco, right next to the LinkedIn building. So all information that's ever been tracked dealing with a home is stored on our servers. Not only that, you can call, text, sign into the app in order to file a claim online, however you prefer. As far as technology is concerned, that is our biggest push into it. And I think that's a bit of what we're probably referring to when we say the millennials, as well as the way that we restructured our company, which we'll probably get into in a minute. Every single policy of ours is fully backed by a reinsurer. What that means is we're able to approve more claims than anybody else, and currently right now we're leading because of the way that we structured. So we're a little bit of millennials in our own way too.
I've been dying to do that. All right. Ask the talking stick.
So, yes, we're constantly with our IT department trying to make it quicker, faster, easier for the agent. We have an amazing agent portal that they go on in about 5 minutes, can sign up a listing coverage or a buyer's coverage. They also can track all their claims on all their properties so that you have another touch point for your agents. So you can see on 123 Main Street that we have paid out $1,600 in claims and what kind of claims are going on at the moment. And then we also have with our same thing for our service providers, trying to get them very quick in responding to the agents, the homeowners, to get out as quickly as possible to do the repair. And our homeowner portal is very amazing too. Again, it makes it really quick and easy, a couple of seconds to go online to order a claim for your property. I didn't think you'd get the bell.
No.
Well, millennials don't want to wait for anything, so we approach it two-pronged. We can allow you to use your own contractors. There's the first and foremost. It's a non-technological answer to the situation. But you can use your own contractor and millennials. But we also have the apps. We have the realtor portals, the agent portals. We also link with the inspectors, so we have the inspector portals too. We show all the claims going on, standard things really, basically. And we have partnered with some serious IT companies to make that happen. So that's about it.
Thank you. I've got a question for Blake since he's so close to LinkedIn. Were you guys the hackers that got you my stuff? I don't have a linked account anymore. Just asking. All right. Narissa, the next one was about coverage, I believe. or
Yes,
costs.
why is the cost for home warranty growing when there are so many competitors out there?
Okay, so I have to stick. So, ours has remained at $395, our base policy. It hasn't changed. We've made one increase further up. It's all our policies are done on square footage. So, but the base policy and the advantage plan remain at $395. It just fits into the hood a lot easier. $300-400 comes quick. But we'll also price match anybody, and we'll also match the hood. We have no concerns about any of that whatsoever.
All right.
All right.
What professionals?
We've actually gone down in price. In Texas, we have a $25 military discount, brings our Supreme package down to $500. All warranty companies lose money on that resale transaction. It's a loss leader. So it's actually low for what it maybe should be, but they're trying to get the renewals 2 or 3 years down the road is what their business model is, or at least our business model is. But again, what we've done, when we created our Supreme coverage, which is on the back of our service agreement, it's because of all that it's covering: code upgrades, washer, dryer, ice maker, appliance match, sear match. So what we did was increase the coverage of what we'll cover, and we cover up to $25,000 worth of claims on a home in a year for only $500. So hopefully that answered.
So ours is basically stay the exact same. We're at $496. That's our whole home package, and it has coverage limits that will be unrivaled by any other warranty company. Not only that, we've leaned into our premium package as well. That's now completely unlimited. for everything. We're not blocked at 25,000 or anything like that. We will cover sub-zero appliances. We'll pay out $45,000 right now in just appliances. And that's not even touching electrical and everything like that. So we're the only fully unlimited plan right now. And we're at $496, which is kind of standard. And that also includes the free access to our superintendent division, as well as all of our technology and all of our storage capabilities. We don't upcharge for anything. And we try to be the most fully transparent company as possible. When you look at our brochures, you will see very clear coverage limits for every single thing mapped out for face value. We understand that that's a kind of a problem that the few different industry leaders kind of had is trying to understand the contracts. We don't want to be those people. We want to be the new age to this, the new reinvention that is just transparent. There's no silly talk on it. It's right there. That's what it is. I'm gonna hit that though.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Narissa. They were great questions. Joe Pine, Coldwell Banker, has 2 questions that he brought up regarding costs.
Oh, there we go. If more than one technician is needed for a given repair, do I have to pay for the service call for each of them? In other words, plumbing, electrical, HVAC, whatever?
Yes?
No, it's just one, and our whole entire mentality for where we come at as far as contract standpoint, that's very clear, is it's to repair or replace that item. If it takes 12 people or it takes 1 person, it depends on the appliance or the situation, correct? So that is all that we're focused on. You pay the $75 copay, and whatever it takes is what it takes, and that's it. And not only that, where you're also going to find a little bit of a difference with us, is we only send out Google 4- and 5-star reviewed servicers. And I mean only. And if you have somebody that you want us to work with, we are happy to call and work with them as well, and we can add them into the system under your specific contractor policy. So that's how we're doing that, substantially different as well. And I'm going to keep talking to you, ring that bell.
I can ring it, but you can pass it.
So the same with me, it's one service fee to get that item repaired. We work really hard on getting service providers that will come out one and done, repair, replace something, because we know we inconvenience the homeowner having to schedule off from work, etc. So we really try to find the best diagnostic service providers, so like I said, they get it done quickly.
What was your cost?
$70 service fee, is that it? Yeah, sorry about that, $70 service fee.
Okay, so I think there's a little bit of misunderstanding of the question. You both answered for one particular item. The question was for several items in the home. So if it was an HVAC system or electrical issue.
More than one type of technician, in other
More
words,
than one
heating,
type.
HVAC, plumbing,
So
whatever.
that would be like an electrical
In
or
other words,
electrical.
bundling the
and of course,
service.
so if you needed your HVAC and your washing machine, that's 2 different.
Yes,
So there'd be 2
same.
service calls, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So 2 service calls for that. It's the same for us. It's a service call per failure of a system. The difference with us is that for the entire 18-month period, because this simple policy, when tied in with the home inspector, lasts for 18 months, not 12, we do a single service call for that. So if the component on your washing machine, for example, fails a second time within that 18 months, you don't pay another service call.
And what's your cost?
It's 75.
You actually, are you done?
Yep.
You actually kind of answered the second one. What if a technician must return more than once for the same problem? Do you have to pay for each visit for the same problem?
That doesn't matter, we cover that on behalf of the home.
You answered.
That's the same too. We have kind of like a lemon law thing. If we see a system is breaking down like the 3rd time, we just replace it. We don't try to fix it again. It's called a little lemon law thing.
If somebody went out and they didn't fix it the first time, we're going to start to question the ability and certification of that individual servicer, and that will go under review in our company. As well, if it starts to become an issue, which it has before, they'll are taken out of our service network.
So not is it, how many times do they go out, will it be covered? 100%. It now gets to are you going to stay on our network? And we mean that very wholeheartedly, to say the least.
Ding.
All right. Well, now you get my questions. All right. Customer service is perceived through the responsiveness of the vendors that are sent to service those home workers. What are your vendor screening vetting processes?
Okay, so two-part kind of customer service and vendor screening?
The vendor screen, because customer service and vendors are actually your director of first impressions, yes?
Sure.
Okay, so that being said, what is your vendor screening process? How do you screen and vet your vendors?
Okay. So as I kind of stated before, we only work with Google 4- and 5-star reviewed people, servicers. The way that we're able to do it is because we actually pay retail. We pay servicers what any other homeowner would do. We do that because we're backed by our reinsurer. So when it comes to vetting our servicers, we, number one, ask if there's an agent that they have a preferred vendor that they'd like to use. And if not, then we go to our network, and then our network is vetting through Google and Angie's List. And if they fall out of public favor as far as the rating system, then that's how we're vetting, as well as we also approach them and we establish relationships ahead of time as well. So it's not only meat, it's not only proven in time. We like to work with people that have 30-year businesses, that have a Google 4- or 5-star rating, so then we can go, we know that you've shown that you've done great work, that's why we're going to work with you, and they work with us. So, and not only that, we also have our app that has geofencing, so when they download our app, we can track exactly what time they arrived, how long they were there, and did they fix the problem the first time. So we also vet that way as well. So I guess 3-part, maybe? That's us.
All right. Pass the stick.
So we are constantly asking people, agents, anybody in the know, for good service provider recommendation. My company is always open. I email all the time if I find out that there's a good AC provider. We have a current list that they get rated continually, and they fall up or down depending on homeowner reviews, because we send out surveys on everything. But they always like my feedback. Next week I have somebody from Colorado flying in from our service provider network department who's going to ride along with me for a week, and we're going to go and interview service providers. What we look for is like wrap vehicles, always in uniform. We want to meet the people that are going to be that front line for the homeowner when they go out there.
So I think the difference between Super and us is we've had that 30-year experience. So we don't necessarily rely on the Google reviews, because let's face it, I can make a company on Google and give myself a 5-star review, and I get it there eventually. You know, we grade our contractors. We have a whole contractor services network, and we have managers in place, directors in place that grade each and every single job. We send out the surveys. We look to, you know, when there's a contractor that's there whose owner of the company doesn't necessarily know what our contractor's doing, because we don't know what our staff are doing some of the time. So that's why we heavily vet them. We actually have a legal department. We put all the contracts through the legal department, and we vet them heavily. We've got them licensed, insured, bonded. We go for the 5-star, obviously, but we don't necessarily do that specifically. But we go off what the realtors say, because you guys are boots on the ground. You're the ones that have the contractor in the back pocket, and you're the one that is going to take the heat, so you're invested into it.
You can rebut, you've got 30 seconds.
And there was something I was going to say too when you were talking. Well, you hand it maybe back to me if I
Okay, how many people here use Google to determine where they're going to go eat for a good restaurant if they're going out for Thai food?
I love my boyfriend Google.
It's not easy to get a Google 4- or 5-star review, and when you have these vetted companies for years, that is hard work. And when it comes to servicers and somebody going out to repair,
You can ask the people in this room. They've called us and had us out there same day. And they don't pay the service call fee until after the job is done, and then we follow up 20 days later, and that's when we actually charge people. We're all about having the very best experience we can possibly give.
I thought of it. Okay, so this summer I had a homeowner call me, and I didn't know how this was going to work when I called my company. They said, I used this company 10 years ago, and I do not like them. And I would like for you to ask for another service provider. So I emailed my company, they said, sure, next one in line, we're good. So that's another thing with just having cooperation with your corporate office and service provider network, that they'll please the homeowner.
Not rebut this.
You rebut the rebut. Yes.
It's a touchy subject, obviously. And the reason it's a touchy subject is because we're dealing with other people's companies. And not only the contacts that we have with them, and we do fly out, we do bring them in, we do vet them heavily, we do get that one-on-one, face-to-face. Is this a good guy? But it's a personal thing. So you may have a great experience with my HVAC guy. You may not. We listen, and it's all a communication thing. As long as we can keep that communication going, and that's what we do quite heavily with our contractor team. We go back and we talk to the homeowners, and we get their experience, and then we alter their tier, and then we call up the owner of the company and say, do you know what, I'm sorry you've gone from tier 1 to tier 4 because the last 2 contractors that you sent out were terrible. So as long as we can keep that communication flow going, we'll be good.
All right. Dan, any more rebuttals? No, I'm just kidding. That one was fun, all right. So, we're using, more and more, we're seeing different alternative methods of systems, you know, with recyclable materials and all that good stuff. Alternative methods of heating and cooling is used as well. We've got now those wall air conditioning systems that are like, kind of like a hotel. Do you guys cover those?
Okay, so I have the stick again, unfortunately. Yeah, the simple policy covers unlimited appliances and unlimited HVAC systems. You can cram your entire house with technology and we'll cover it all, we don't care. We do have a limitation on geothermal units of $1,500 per repair. That's the limitation we have.
Okay.
I thought this was right, but we do not cover mini split systems. So I know that was a question, and we do not, I just read it in my exclusions.
Okay.
So, but in terms of AC coverage, we try to be the best with our unlimited refrigerant, our SEER matching program. We try to be the best that way.
Okay.
Our geothermal is 10,000, and we are one of the few people, period, I think we might still be the only ones that completely cover the R410 refrigerant upgrade, meaning we don't do repairs, we don't do patchwork. We say if your Freon unit is out, we will fully replace it with a brand new R410 upgrade, which usually costs around $8,000 to $10,000, and that also includes our manifold, or the manifold that it takes to put it to the house. We are just one of the few that offer that. We leaned in very, very heavy to HVAC because it's Texas. And this past year, it proved that it was a good thing that we did, and we got people immediately after the next day for everybody. Our latest one, I believe, was, I think it was 32 hours to get somebody out, was the longest that it took to get somebody out this past summer, which it was a doozer. So that's us for HVAC, as well as us. And you do an unlimited or you do a whole home, it's not in particular to one AC unit versus the other, it's all of them. That's fine. If you do unlimited, then it's every single AC you have. And if you do the R410 upgrade, then you get all of those upgraded. And that's the way we're doing it.
Right.
Thank you.
Bing, yay, all right. Besides GFCI concerns, what other types of electrical issues seem to be common at call centers that perhaps the agent population should offset during their transactions?
Is it good?
I'm right with you.
Besides GFCI's concerns, GFCIs, non-call circuit interrupters, which is usually very common, right?
Yes.
What other type of electrical issues seem to pop up time and time again at your call centers that perhaps the agent community can offset transactions? Like what kind of electrical problems?
If you
come
need
up?
time, you can hand that to me.
Yes, I'm just saying.
Because I know what I'm gonna talk about, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to hand it off. I don't work in customer service, so as far as me being honest with you, which is if you get to know me personally, you'll know I'm a very straightforward person. I don't work in customer service, so as far as saying this more than this, I will tell you some of the hazards that have come up. And when it comes to, as y'all are having listings on the MLS, you have seller's coverage. When it comes to seller's coverage, we are the only company, period, that has full repair and replace and has our full warranty backing the time that your houses are listed on MLS. So when you ask, what do you do about electrical problems? We're the only ones that can say, you have our full warranty and it's free. And there are a couple people that have said free, I think is free as well. So that's how we do it. You actually have the full weight of our warranty for electrical problems. And if you do have one-off questions or anything like that, we will say whether it's an insurance concern or an us, and we'll go from there and help y'all out any way we can. So.
Okay, so I'm married to a home inspector, so he always tells realtors, check the light bulbs, check the switches. You don't want to call someone out to have a $70 service fee if it's just a switch or a light bulb, because that $70 you didn't have to pay. The other thing is reset buttons. Make sure you have the homeowner check the reset button and see if that, because it, depending on the wiring, it handles different systems, electrical systems within the house.
Well, switches, obviously. You get some home inspectors, not ours, but you get some that test a representative number of sockets. What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. You either check them all or you don't check them. The other big issue, because part of my job, even though I'm not in customer service, is to go through every single claim, every single day, and make sure the reps are doing what they need to do, and there's no gotcha's going to come out of this. So one of the biggest things is the types of breaker panels. There are a few out there which are on recall. Our company is the one that started Recall Check. So a recall track. So every month your homeowners would get a particular email that says, these are the things that are in your house that are all green or red, and we'll organise that free repair and manufacturing for you. So look for recall panels. That does come up quite a bit. And it's a gotcha because it's $1,500 and it's on you. Unless you close. That's about it.
Can I respond?
Yes. What a way.
I'm so sorry. I thought it was more of a warranty question. I apologize for answering in a warranty way. If we're talking about advice on electrical units, you can call me anytime. It's my wife right here. She rides motorcycles. We've wired her motorcycle as well as we build for fun on the side. So when it comes to checking your voltmeter, it's going to depend on whether it's in ohms or amps, and then you just turn it from there. You're going to look for your breaker box, then you're going to trace out from there, then you're going to find your point of contact that's been a faulty system. Of course, on chip ICs, you're always going to check those as well as your breaker box first, because this can be your easiest point of contact. If you do have an electrical question, hit me up. Me and my friends, we'd love to mess with electrical stuff. Sorry for answering that wrong. So,
Doing electrical, he explosives, I'm in good company.
Can I?
Give me the stick.
Give me my stick.
I haven't got your number, so I can't do that. They will, but like we would go through the entire country, and I can't take all those calls. We're also branching out into Australia and Canada. So for one person, that's brilliant. As long as your reps know how to decipher that, and not to put you guys down. But I'm not an electrician. I have a system that tells me what could be wrong with something, and I will go through that very finitely to break down a claim to advise the homeowner in conjunction with the contractor and our contractor services staff, who are also licensed contractors. So there's things that can and can't be done. I wouldn't field those calls because I'm not on site. I wasn't there. It's a liability. So I wouldn't take that over the phone without a licensed contractor.
All right. All right, well, warranties do not cover known pre-existing conditions. What if the buyer didn't inspect and the seller didn't know it existed because they didn't live there? Like, for instance, property managers or landowners.
Sorry, can you repeat? I
All right.
think I'm misspelling.
So, warranties do not cover known pre-existing conditions. What if the buyer didn't inspect?
Did
and
not
the-
inspect
did
it.
not.
Had an inspection.
And the seller didn't know it existed because they didn't live it?
As a representative, account rep for my company, my job is to fight for my agents and my homeowners. So what I would do is just explain the situation, and our company motto is not to say no. So usually if I have good grounds for that, I just go ahead and honor it.
This kind of falls back on why we were originally built. It's not a matter of this is a pre-existing condition or not a pre-existing, which I fully understand the question, and it's going to be based, to be very straightforward, it's going to be based on when the technician goes out there and says, this has corrosion and rust, this clearly is old, and then we take that into consideration. Who we are is a collection of people that have understood that the home warranty industry, it falls back on special accounts to help with special circumstances, and it's, you know, oh, well, you can fight for me here, you can fight for me there. It's a lot like owning an older truck. You always want to have money in case repairs are needed. We're not that. We are the newer car. We are the new EcoBoost Ford F-150. We don't plan on things breaking. We don't plan on having to fight. We want to be as transparent as possible. If something is old and it's pre-existing, then it's just understood because we're going to get a double opinion. If you want, we'll get a triple opinion. The truth is, we want to do right by y'all. And because we're reinsured, we're more than happy to do payouts. That's why we are at the point that we're at with paying out more than anybody. So I do understand, and it is going to be based on the recommendation. At the same time, we're looking to make people that use us as part of their life. Okay,
well, I started off by saying we have zero pre-existing conditions with a valid home inspection report. The residential warranty services just doesn't do the warranty. We have the 90-day home warranty, which is given out by the home inspectors. We link with home inspectors, 6,000 home inspection companies across the US and Canada. Okay, well, I started off by saying we have zero pre-existing conditions with a valid home inspection report. The residential warranty services just doesn't do the warranty. We have the 90-day home warranty, which is given out by the home inspectors. We link with home inspectors, 6,000 home inspection companies across the US and Canada. The whole point of residential warranty services is not the warranty. It's to reduce or eliminate the risk within the real estate transaction. That's not just yourselves. That's not just the homeowner, the home inspector. It's us as well. So we have $1,000 for unknown pre-existing conditions, which we'll gladly give out, and we do hundreds, thousands of times a day. We only have one exclusion, and that's on the Advantage plan, and that's rarely sold because this is so good. And that's rust and corrosion within the first 30 days on an evaporator coil or a water heater. That's it. We don't actually sell the Advantage plan in Texas. We sell the single because it's just so inclusive. But to reduce the risk within the real estate transaction is our aim. So we don't have pre-existing conditions because we take the home inspection report. That's right. I'm passing.
I said,
I know, we noticed
Goodness, okay. The typical consumer would prefer replacement when it's an older unit and it breaks down. Replacement versus repair. What process or standard is typically applied by your company?
We are always going to try to repair first. We have a 3-strike though rule, if, like I said, our lemon law kind of thing. If we just inconvenience that homeowner so much, we'll go ahead and replace it. But we do try to repair first.
we don't care. It's all the same to us because we're backed by insurance. Right now, we got a brand new microwave because it's a microwave. Who wants to deal with that? So they're just like, here, just have a new microwave. And that's not uncommon for us because it's all the same to us. We pay the reinsurer each month, so if you have a $10,000 payout, we just go, okay, it's all the same to us. Not only that, and I was going to say this a second ago, our policy is if something breaks down due to wear and tear or lack of maintenance, which would be kind of like the pre-existing condition, our first year it's completely covered because we don't blame a new homeowner for lack of maintenance from the previous owner. That is in our terms and conditions.
Great, well, that follows with my next question. Wait,
We have all.
Go,
Go
Nate.
away now. We'll do the same as T-Tech, but in a slightly different way. So we'll do the repair. It's kind of naive as a company, and again, the 30 years kind of takes toll right now and gives you that level of experience. If your blower motor goes out, I'm afraid it's not a justified reason to change out your HVAC system. It's also a bigger inconvenience because to change out a blower motor takes an hour. To change out your system is going to take a full day. And your insurance rates are going to go up with your reinsurer, and your company is going to fail at that point. But that's okay. You know, you'll learn as you go on. But if we cover every component part of the system, and an HVAC system, as I tell the homeowners, it's a big box filled with 6 other little boxes. Those little boxes are interchangeable. We can change them out. By changing out all the component parts, we'll have changed your system. We don't have to change the system because your blower motor's gone out. We don't have to change to 410A because your coil has gone out. If you want 410A, that's fine, we'll do that. We'll change your evaporator coil, we'll change your TXV. There's your system replacement that you're expecting. But it doesn't have to happen. You can flush the system for $125 and put MO99 or NU22 in there. And it's exactly the same. It's the new licensed EPA equivalent of R22. You don't have to change a 410A system. That's listening to the contractors, upselling so they can put the kids through private school at our expense or the homeowner's expense. And we don't party to that. We won't party to that. And those contractors either get tier 4'd or they get fired. That's it.
So now let me follow that up with, considering that most folks intend on using their appliances, what does damages due to wear and tear mean to your company? This is sometimes noted on policies. So sometimes they say, please, damages due to wear and tear.
Yeah.
I mean, when you use an appliance, don't you wear it and tear it?
Right.
So why the exclusion of damages due to wear and tear, and what exactly does that encompass?
I believe it's always fair wear and tear. I've never had my company tell me they can't honor a claim because of normal wear and tear. So it's just like you have expectations of refrigerators, how long they last, you know, that sort of thing.
Well,
Yeah.
the term normal
Yeah.
has been omitted from that statement. So what's wear and tear that's not normal?
Let me give you an example of my brother who shrink wrapped his AC system to get a new one, so he would suffocate it to try to get a new AC out of his home warranty company. That's the sort of stuff that's not normal. And you guys don't know my maiden name, so no one will know who my crazy brother is out there, but yeah, so. That's the sort of thing that would not be considered.
I just to say, you know, our wear and tear isn't, we don't have a wear and tear policy. It's if it's due to neglect of maintenance, we cover it. That.
You do cover neglect of maintenance?
Yes, that's what I was saying. The first year for the home buyer, we don't put the blame on the person who bought the house. The fault is the person who had the, who is neglecting.
Just the first year?
Yeah, the first year.
Renewals, then it kicks in?
Yeah, like normal. But as far as for an agent, nope. Your buyers are totally covered under us for normal wear and tear.
So we cover normal wear and tear. We cover wear and tear. The people that don't are insurance companies. So insurance companies will not pay out on wear and tear. It has to be an insurable event. We don't cover neglect of the unit within the first year like Super does. We educate the homeowner. This is the actual policy that your homeowner gets. And it has the ultimate home book. And the guys can call us any time on any issue, any advice. We link with realtors, so we have that close relationship with them. So we don't let it fail in the first place. We educate the homeowner how to not let things fail. So we advise them of the normal home maintenance. We give them the tools to do the normal home maintenance, and we take them through the process from when they're selling the house, not just when they're buying the house, when the seller is selling the house, all the way through. So our inspectors do pre-listing inspections, seller's inspections, and we go all the way through to renewal and on. With customers 15, 20 years. So.
May I respond to that?
Yes.
So we have some of the highest, or the most number of maintenances for keeping a house going, as well as we do email drip campaigns to the homeowners, helping keeping their home going. Most will do like an HVAC tune-up. We also do not only just termite, we do full pest control to keep people's houses maintained, as well as we even do carpet cleaning. So when it leans into what are you doing to make sure that the house is maintained, we not only cover those items, we not only send out drip campaigns letting people know about different ways to maintain their furnace, we also help. So when we have our superintendent division, somebody says, hey, I need my gutters cleaned out. We say we 100% agree, we'll go ahead and send out somebody to clean your gutters, or to wash your windows, or to paint a room, or hey. So we're here for you on that, 100%.
We do that same thing, like you have a booklet, you know, how to maintain your home, and we send out emails to the homeowners through their homeowner portal when they sign up for that. So to try to keep them aware of changing the AC filters, cleaning the dishwasher, cleaning the washer dryer out, those sort of things monthly, quarterly, yearly that they need to do to maintain the health of their home.
All right, HVAC is a big ticket item for both parties, no matter how small the repair may be. Why would a HVAC service call end up with additional charges for disposal? Would there be any additional charges besides a service call that may end up at the owner's lap? That's typical, like for instance, Freon disposal, or, I don't know, coil disposal charges.
So know if they get the Supreme coverage from 210. So we do have the recovery here, you can see it, and the removal, the disposal, and any unforeseen code upgrades that may have to happen due to the changes in the EPA rules with air conditioning.
Yeah, we cover disposal, torch fees, evacuation, recovery. We cover all of those. We cover the code upgrades too. It's just part and parcel of it. I'm not going to leave the HVAC system in the garage. To fix it, you know.
They might want to scrap it.
Well, I mean, they cover, you know.
Her brother might.
Recycle.
Oh my gosh,
I
yes.
think you already has. Which policy did you have, by the way?
It was years ago, like probably 15 years ago we did this. Like you're crazy.
Well, I mean, it's just part of
What?
it. I can go back and check.
I just thought it was insane.
So Angie just asked a really key point that's really close to us. What about the upsell? Upsell is extremely important. So as far as the removal and the replacement, yes, we cover those 100%. It's in our terms and conditions. The upsell is key. That's what we got trying to be upsell on. That's why I'm standing here today, because I got upsold on an AC unit before they even came out. So here's the deal with us. We have our app that is in real time. While that HVAC person is standing out there repairing their AC, they're talking to us on the line. There is no upsell. We use someone's card that's on file for cashless transactions. Our entire point of our business is the homeowner should only go hello and goodbye, and they did or didn't repair. And that's it. We do not want them having to interact or communicate, because we know that that's where all the fraud has been happening. We know that's where the pain points are, and I am standing right here in front of you as one of the people that had the pain point. So that's how we take care of that.
Okay.
Can I just?
Yes,
Well,
yes, you can. It's America, you can.
Cover the new film?
I'm sorry?
Do you guys also cover the new film for the house? For
Yes,
the-
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I think the whole point of this is just to explain warranties. I mean, there's no one company better than another company. We each cover different things. 210 is renowned for its new builder's warranties. You know, we've started our next structural warranty, which does existing homes, not just new homes, up to $25,000. So, you know, there are all different types of things that go on here. But we will always, I certainly will, if our policy doesn't fit you, we'll always transfer you to a different one, and we'll go through and take you. If you're more concerned about having your carpets cleaned and your gutters cleaned up, then, you know, now I know that Super exists, I'll be recommending Super, because we don't do that. Our job here is to take care of the homeowner, the realtor, the inspector, and ourselves, and move warranties through, because I'd rather have a millennial go with Super or 210, or God forbid, American Home Shield.
I didn't say that.
I would rather do that. I would rather do that as, you know, as opposed to see them without a warranty.
May I respond?
Oh.
Are we done?
No, I'm good, I'm just.
Thank you for your kind words and who you recommend us. That's very kind. Thank you. I do disagree, not in a negative way at all. All home warranties are not equal, and that's why we are here to reinvent it. Is the truth. That is the truth.
No,
And, oh, go ahead, please.
I didn't say we were all equal. I said we're all equal in different ways.
Oh, okay.
So there's good and bad for every single warranty company, depending on your point of view at the time and the interaction with that owner or the realtor. So it depends on the point of view. Like I said, you could have a really good experience, you could have a really bad experience. The next claim, it could switch over entirely. You know, we're there to just look at the business as a whole, the warranty business as a whole, and move it forward. If that means partnering with different warranty companies, then hey, who says that can't happen?
We don't want to do that. We want to give the very best offering that there is hands down, and that's our goal. Our goal is for us to interact with you to help you live a better life, and that's the truth. We want to have the very best that there is out there. We want it to be flawless on every single transaction. We don't want wishy-washy. Well, you might have a good experience, you might not. We are tuned, and we have created ourselves in a way that every single interaction should be a great interaction. And if something did happen, it goes under our microscope. Because remember, we're a tech company at the end of the day. We want flawless at all times. That's who we are. So,
You want a binary.
No, I want to. We are the same. Believe me, word of mouth with you guys is so key. I do not want a bad experience with my service providers. And I constantly have communication with all of my people up in Colorado. They are quick. They understand that if I do not have an agent like my customer service, my service provider, I cannot grow my business. So it is very important.
So, I'm not saying we're wishy-washy. I'm not saying the whole point of this is to get the homeowner with the best experience. Now, everybody wants to be the best. The difference between me as an English general manager sitting here and you guys as Americans is we've got thousands of years of history. We screw up all the time. You know? But we own it and we learn from it and we continue. Honestly, but that's the difference between, you know, you'll see some fly-by-night companies that come through. I'm not saying yours is, I'm just saying yours is new, and it's based on the new version and the new view of the millennials. And that's going to push, and it's tech-based, and I understand that. we've been in business 30 years, they've been in business 38. You don't get to that point without knowing how to connect with your homeowners. That's why you guys are all here. If you didn't care, you wouldn't be. Neither would we, all three of us.
I'm good for the next one, right? Are we done with this
You
one?
are, would you,
Okay,
next question?
is that right?
Are we on, or are we still debating? Okay, all right, good. All right. No wishy-washy. All right, customer service question again. Plays a vital role in the successful renewal of these warranties. Does your company have a call center available 24/7?
Not 24/7. We have long day hours, and we're based on mountain time, so I get an extra hour to for my homeowners and agents. So no, and then they have some weekend hours, but no, we are not. I know on Sundays we are not open. I am your 24-hour person, so they have a local rep in town with her phone always near her, her laptop always near her to take those calls evenings and weekends. That would be me.
We're not 24/7, we're only a half day on Sunday, and you can file a claim 24/7. But as far as getting somebody out there, it is always due to your contractors that you have. It's gonna be really lucrative with that.
We are 24/7. We do have call centres 24/7. You can file your claim online, you can mail it in, you can send it in, you can bring it with you. But at all times, 24/7, there is a rep to take your call. Now, if the staffing doesn't meet demand, those calls then follow over, and all the supervisors, the leads, the managers, directors are all voicemail, email those voicemails, and they respond to them within 3 minutes. If they don't respond to them within 3 minutes, my phone goes off. I get the voicemail email. I call them and then tell the directors off and the managers for that individual. So yeah, we are talking.
So, and do they actually get a human?
They get a human or me. They may not understand me, but at least they get a call. And the HVAC issues, we have 4 hours in which to get a tech on the phone with them or out to their house. So, coming into the winter time, I know Texas isn't that cold, but we're an Indiana-based company, and we are all across the country and international as well. So, we do have emergency claims for HVAC issues, and they are to be responded to within 4 hours. And I respond to everything, which is why I've been looking at my phone now, because I have 3 minutes in which to respond to anything that goes onto that. So.
Yes, and just saying, you can also do anything online through our system too, even though we may not have a human there, that if you wanted to enroll a property or file a claim, you can do that online anytime.
As far as emergencies are concerned, we don't just do HVAC. There's someone sitting in this room right now that is attest to something that was non-emergency, and someone was out within 24 hours. We look at it on a per situation basis, and we're all about just the homeowner. So.
Yeah, but I was just mentioning the 4 hours for the emergencies. Obviously, we have different grades of claims. If your faucet's kind of dripping from the top and it's leaking into the sink, then that's not an emergency claim. It's an urgent claim. It's an annoyance. So we'll have someone out within 24 hours as well. But the emergencies are handled within 4 hours.
So for us with emergencies.
And that is all the questions I have for today. Did I miss something? Does anyone have another question? Oh, Nettie said.
So for a listing and seller's coverage, do each of you send a pre-inspection for that coverage? I know you mentioned you do.
For listing coverage, you don't have to have the inspection. It's just because we pair with home inspectors. There's normally, in a real estate transaction, there's normally an inspector bouncing around somewhere, correct? Not always, but the vast majority of the time. And most of the time, it's one of our guys.
Okay, so you don't necessarily
We don't need a...
provide that, you just partner with whoever the inspector is in the...
Correct.
Okay.
But, I mean, you can call up, if you you don't want an inspector, you can just call up and ask for listing coverage. It doesn't matter, and we extend it till it's closed.
Yes, ours is complimentary from the day of enrollment, the listing coverage for 6 months, and then you can renew for as many 6 months as you need. I know we're in a seller's market, so typically houses don't stay on the market for very long, but if you needed to, you just keep re-extending the listing coverage complimentary.
Well, the question was, do you, for the listing coverage, I'm sure you each may have something that's similar or different for each company. But I guess my question was, because I heard you mention that,
Oh, pre-listing
the
inspections.
pre-listing inspection, so I was assuming maybe that's something different that you provide than others, but you just confirmed that you partner with inspectors, so it's not necessarily that.
Correct. Pre-listing inspections is based on the inspector's choice as to whether they want to do it with yourselves, and whether they want to partner with you guys and do a seller's inspection. At the seller's inspection, they do get the full listing coverage free of charge as well.
Yeah, we don't have an inspection that happens, just you call them.
We do not require an inspection whatsoever. In fact, the day that you accept our free coverage, you now have $10,000 of coverage limit on the entire home, and it's all based on faith, as well as you have full access to our superintendent division as well. And we don't charge. There's no claim or anything. It's literally, it's nothing. We don't even ask for a credit card. So that's where we're at, and we just do it based on faith.
You have another question?
Yeah, I didn't get this very clear. If the homeowner makes a phone call for a claim and he happens to have a problem with the plumbing and a problem with the electricity or something in the electricity, is that, because it's two different contractors, so is that gonna count like two claims and two deductibles, or how do they handle it?
I think this is the same question you had right at the start, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
I think the confusion is in the bundling.
Yeah.
I don't think there's such a thing as bundling. You can't call a home warranty company and say,
Or three things
I've
different?
got an electrical fixture, and I've got a plumbing fixture over here, and I've got this, dishwasher, and,
No,
I want it all under one call.
It's three
Well, that's
different-
three, that's an
three
appliance guy, an
different
electrician,
claims.
and a plumber. It's 3 vendors, it's
Yeah.
3 deductibles, I
Right,
think.
so three deductibles.
There's no bundling. We don't like bundles.
Now, you can ask, because I did have this question, let's say you have a plumber come out and you have a faucet and a toilet, you can get him to repair both
Yeah, it's
for the
same.
one service
Yeah.
fee because it's the same tradesman.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, otherwise it's
Also,
separate.
we wouldn't actually charge for the faucet. To fix the faucet would be under the cost of the deductible, so we wouldn't make them pay a deductible. I think you guys are the same at that point. If a claim is going to be under the cost of the deductible, there's no need to pay that deductible, you just pay by the terms.
Yes.
What's going on?
Please.
Well, we spent
Ken.
for today.
How about your initial cost of the policy and your cost for a copay or deductible, whatever you call it? Are all of yours comparable? Are they all the same? I mean, they're like
No.
$495 or $525 for a house without any additional things on it. So what is your basic policy and what is your deductible for all three?
Okay,
Um,
that makes sense. Why-
So for ours would be $395, our base policy is $395, and the deductible.
$495 and $75?
$390.
$395 and $75? Okay.
Mine is $435 for our standard and $70 service fee.
I'm gonna lean in on this one, in the most respectful way possible, because I feel like we probably should. The answer is, we have a $210 policy, a $496, which is our whole home, and our premium is $624. But where the difference is, where you're gonna find with any company, whether it's us up here or anybody, is what you get for that dollar. And that's when we start talking coverage limits. And when you pour into a contract, you're gonna find that the wording is slightly different with almost everyone. And that's where I kinda wanna focus on. So we had mentioned RWS has $25,000 of coverage. Our, just our appliances is $45,000. We go well into almost $200,000 of coverage for that exact same dollar. And that's where you're gonna get a huge separation. When we talk seller's coverage, we cover $10,000. I'm not sure where y'all are at, that y'all cover under seller's coverage.
It's unlimited except for air conditioning for me, I believe.
Oh, no, that's
It's like a
for free
$1,500
alarm.
cap.
Yeah, we're talking the actual
Sellers.
amount you pay out, your coverage limit during the
Okay, so when
seller's coverage.
Yeah, it'd be the 25,000, we just have a limit only on the AC coverage. A cap,
So
that's it.
I need to call them and.
Okay.
Yours is
Mhm.
45 on.
James literally.
On just our appliances, that's true. But as far as your seller's coverage, like what would your limit be?
It depends if there's an inspector that involved, and it would just be the normal policy.
Don't worry, we'll get it, just leave it the
Okay.
way it is.
So I read, and I'm not calling anyone out, but I've read differently amongst the industry.
I just want
And this is where you're gonna find that where your dollar goes. And if anybody would like to ever call me to talk about what the coverage limits really are, and what, when they say we're gonna cover these appliances, what the true terms and conditions are, I'll be happy to talk to anybody about that and compare it, and help direct the best way possible, if you would like.
The thing I'd like to add to that is the whole idea of reducing the risk within the real estate transaction. If you pair with an inspector, and the inspector's pairing with us,
No worries.
we're pairing with the buyer and the seller, then the seller's coverage, no matter what it is not gonna really come into play. Because everybody is gonna have all the information that you need for that real estate transaction. There's not going to be any hidden occurrences. There's gonna be some things fail, but not $45,000.
So can we do it
Appliances.
earlier? Can we do it like
There's maybe the
seven?
washing machine's gonna go out.
And we can get it
between the
earlier
sellers
for them so that way
and
if
the selling
I'll
period
go
and
back to
buying
call
period.
center and have them either move it to
So-
the other.
Yeah, I mean, special people, right? But the whole idea is to reduce that risk, make everything transparent, so that the buyer and the seller can go through the transaction, because it's not just that buyer that's
We
involved.
can get this done.
You know, the inspector, some of you guys may have said, well, the inspection killed the deal. The inspection didn't kill the deal. The issue that happened is something the buyer didn't want to accept. So if everybody is involved in the real estate transaction, then your limit, your liability is gone. The inspectors is gone, the homeowners is gone, the sellers is gone, the buyers is gone, because everybody can work out. So there's not necessarily a need for $45,000 of coverage. If I said that, I would then have to explain how many times I have, as a general manager, paid out $45,000 worth of seller's coverage. The answer is going to be zero. Sorry, but it is.
Well, it's 500. You pay up to 500.
We pay 500 on the standard listing.
We pay 10,000.
Well,
We're happy to go
if-
for 1,000.
Yeah, but if we have the inspection, you missed the point of having the inspector involved and then opening up those limits. So it depends on that, like how many times have $45,000 worth of coverage being paid by Super? Probably never. You'd have to go back, because I don't work in the actual warranty department. So, but I understand that. I'm not trying to get out of that. What I'm trying to say is there's differences. We accept the differences, we learn from the differences.
Don't make me do it. All right.
For me, okay, so in regards to the seller's coverage, say the inspection gets done, what will the home warranty company cover? Say they find that the AC is not functioning correctly. Will that be covered under that seller's coverage?
Yeah, the seller's coverage for us is the same coverage as this here. So if there's an exclusion in here, then, you know, we will cover it, obviously. You know, so if in here it said,
Why would you not cover it then? If I put
if it's a non-covered item under the policy, so say it was a giraffe, right? Homeowner called up and the seller called up today, I have a problem with my giraffe in the garden. I'm sorry, it's not listed as a covered item in the policy. This simple policy that is effective for 18 months is the listing coverage. It doesn't, we don't limit it, this is the listing coverage. So the covered items here are the covered items during the seller's period.
But we'll make an example, please ask me. You said there was maybe an example.
So an
What would make an
exclusion.
example?
That's the same, basically what he's saying is the same policy,
Because I don't get a giraffe.
So let's see.
the saran wrap.
Yeah, I got that one.
Let's see if we can find it.
Okay, so on the inspection,
So-
it finds that, i.e. your example, the blower,
Yeah, We'd just change out the logo.
would that be covered, or would that be?
It would be covered. The things I'm talking about here are things like, it says on a refrigerator, the internal light bulb is not covered. So if the internal light bulb went out, we wouldn't cover that because it's not within the policy. They're little small, tiny boxes.
See, but doing this in the industry long enough, it's just the biggest thing, especially here in Texas, AC unit seems to be the biggest thing that comes up on an inspection report. Because, for instance, Freon is the big thing. My seller doesn't wanna pay $400 for reloading of Freon.
I need your question.
Okay.
Yeah, so the answer is gonna be, I believe it's kind of universal. If it happens after the day that seller's coverage is put on it, and then it's fully covered. And that's where the difference between the coverage limit during the seller's coverage time period, where I was mentioning the limits, that's where that kicks in. So we're gonna be able to cover that AC because we have up to 10 grand.
Do you have anything exempt? That
No.
wouldn't be covered?
No, we just enacted our seller's coverage to go full in, like we're full in. Anything that is in our normal contract, the day of closing is the exact same as the second that goes in our seller's coverage. The difference is we don't charge for seller's coverage.
Somebody's, just something very similar to that for the seller's coverage. One of the big things that's kind of keeps coming up is the hydrostatic testing and the damage that it could cause to the plumbing. So it's kind of a debate, who's gonna pay for that? Should there be damage to the buyer or the seller? Would that be something that's covered under the seller's policy?
Hydrostatic testing.
Yeah, for the plumbing, the pressure, in the plumbing to see the right.
Back to that.
Yes, if there becomes an issue while it's under seller's coverage, we got it.
Yeah, so just leave it alone.
Yep. You just remove the doubt. We got you.
Okay, so then, because there has to be a contract that's signed that says specifically the seller or the buyer is fully liable, or it's a split between the two. So if your policy, for example, I don't know about YouTube, but if your policy says, we'll cover the hydrostatic testing or any damages caused because of the hydrostatic testing, then that contract would then say the seller is liable because it basically is covered by the policy. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I have a question, wouldn't the plumbing company insure that?
No.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, they have to sign a whole policy.
Right.
Yeah, I want to get with my plumber. We have a plumber, and I just want to ask him why maybe it's because of the.
There's a liability because.
It's become a big to-do, even though
Right.
very seldom does something happen. It's just a pressure issue within the one property. It's just.
Well, not hydrostatic testing, but, because we offer the sewer guard policy, we go from the edge of the foundation to the street. One of the major issues that happens after a real estate transaction, someone buys a house, is the sewage line backs up. Happened to me for a different reason, but I bought a new built house, and within a week, my entire downstairs was completely flooded. They installed the flow valve the wrong way. I mean, how can you do that? It has a big red arrow on it, right? But they managed to do it, and I just connected my washer dryer. We went out. I know it's stupid, but new homeowner, right? So, hey, we've had our washer dryer hooked up. Let's go out for dinner. So we put a load of washing on, and everything backed up. But here in Texas, this is becoming an issue. Plumbers didn't want home inspectors to sewer scope the lines. So Trek said they couldn't. Well, why not? They're not acting as a plumber, they're camera in line. Right? So our company, the owner of our company, petitioned Trek and actually went into negotiations with them. So home inspectors are now allowed again to sewer scope those lines. So we don't just stand on warranty, we look out for your liability and the inspector's liability. And ultimately the homeowner's well-being, because no one wants to be in the position that I was in a week into the house. That's why we offer that free of charge.
Please,
into that
more
policy.
question?
As far as, you were talking about preventative maintenance and stuff like that, what about, something natural like a tree? For example, if it was to come down or a branch, it was about to hit your unit and take it out, would you guys cover removing the tree or the branch versus having to repair the whole unit afterwards?
Do you want to take that?
Yeah, if y'all like to go first, I don't mind.
That is normal homeowners maintenance. We personally wouldn't get involved in that. If tree blew onto the house, who would pay for that? The home insurance company, right?
And I guess the question for that would be the deductible, because sometimes they say, well, to remove the tree and versus the deductible, it's not worth us. But I'm saying, like, let's say during the storm happens and it does happen.
On this, whatever you called and got quotes for is the exact same amount that you're gonna get through us. We make no profit. That is just all part of our warranty.
What are your fees after this, the second year?
We go up $50, and then we stay right there at $50. We never go higher.
$50 more?
Yes.
It's a percentage rate for us and it can vary. We're developing a sliding fee kind of thing for our homeowners so they can choose their service fee and their coverage and roll out January 1st. But it will go up, the enrollment, not by a whole lot, but it will go up. A certain percentage.
From the first year.
Yes.
Yeah.
And ours goes down $20 for the first year, and it goes down $50 for the second year.
Because it's a previous client, right? But if any new client that they are not buying anyhow, and they would have a warranty, it's, what is your?
For us, it's $390, it's not $295.
Is the same fee? Oh.
Any more questions? Okay, one more question and then we're gonna wrap it up.
Question deals with response time. Jules had mentioned your heating problem is 6 days, so do you have an average response time for emergency versus non-emergency? Because 6 days waiting for a heater repair seems.
In San Antonio? Sweater it, girl, on Christmas.
On Christmas Eve, so what, do you have an average response time for emergency versus non-emergency?
Non-emergency is 24 hours. Emergency is 4 hours. And like I say, you can use whatever contractor you want. So if if we know that our network contractor has just been dispatched to another job, and that other job is to change out an evaporator coil and a condensing unit, that's going to take 4 hours. So we're not going to then schedule that same guy out. So what you can do is say, look, in the hope that you would get the part that's failed is maybe a capacitor. It all depends on the call, right? So if your capacitor's out, then the unit's not going to start. So if we know that from the call, we can very quickly say, do you know what? Who have you had servicing this unit? Do you have a maintenance plan with this company? Okay, let's get them out, and then we'll call them as well and say, okay, we're not only going to do this, but we're going to do this as well. So get to that home unit as quick as you can and fix that part. But we have to dispatch within 4 hours. We have to. It's in the policy.
All right.
Emergency versus non-emergency.
I'd be happy to answer that. You can't diagnose over the phone. So to say, we know it's sub 4 hours, this is the problem, we're sending you out there, that's actually the reason that I do this job, is because that happened with me. And I was already told, oh, it's gonna be an extra $850. I'm like, you haven't come out. Like, what are you talking about? And it was the same thing, it's gonna take multiple days, and they are sub 24 hours, fantastic. Historically, we always shoot for as fast as possible. So if we're gonna talk about what we want, yeah, I want them to be instantly there through teleportation. That's my hope. But the truth is, historically, the longest that we took was, I believe, 32. I said it earlier, it was 32, but we were always 24 for an emergency, and that's including because this is all based on traffic, this is all based on the availability. Because if you say, even with me, if you're like, come here right now and leave New Braunfels and come to Shirts, I'm gonna go, well, I don't know, what's 35 look like right now? So let's just be honest about what that is. So yeah, we do as fast as possible. Like I would think anybody would, but you do have some that will be the 2 months to get somebody out.
Sorry, go.
Oh, no, we have an emergency policy that's within 24 hours, but that's why you have a local rep that you can call anytime, night or day, and I have concessions I can give, which are hotel night stays, heaters, AC systems, portable AC systems. All you have to do is call me, tell me the situation, and when it's legit, I take care of it. My company's never told me, has never budged on it, just.
That's kind of what I was going to say as well. We do have the concessions for put homeowners in hotels for give AC units and things like that, whatever it takes. Because, unfortunately, we've had instances where we have dispatched. We've dispatched within an hour. the contractor's on his way. It took me an hour and a half to get here from Cibolo today. You know, it's absolutely crazy. But we've had that contractor run off the road. It's normal, everyday human interactions, right? And we have to cope with that. So the second we find that out, again, it goes back to the communication. It goes back to getting the homeowner on the phone and saying, look, honest to goodness, if you switch on the news now on 35, there's an accident, that's your contractor. What we're going to do is offer you the chance now. You can either go to a hotel, or we can dispatch another contractor, or you can use your guy. What do you need us to do as your warranty company for you right now in order to make that happen for you? What can we do?
It's safety first.
Yeah, I told in my interview before, we've covered claims on homes that people don't have policies. For that exact reason, if you look at my other interview.
Over. Thank you all for joining us today. I'd like to ask all of you to grab a sticky note, put your best debater in, and put it here along with your business card, because I've got a little goodie for some.
23 years.
Sorry about that.
Oh, cool.
Your best debater, who was it? Ken. Give me your best debater. Melanie, Lane, your best debater. Oh, the best debater. I know you're. Debate. Perfect, thank you. Debate.
Good, doing good.
Your vote for the best debater. Un momento, por favor. Un momento. I hope you guys will join us next year, because they're gonna have to come and defend their title. And then I'm getting ready to do mortgages and title companies. And inspectors. And inspectors and investors. And all kinds of different things. We're only gonna do debates this upcoming year. I'm not doing trainings. We're only gonna do debates. Only debates. Did I get everybody's vote? All right. Let's see.
My first debate since middle school.
That was a long time ago.
I was not on the debate team. This is like, I'm a fish out of water. It's very obvious. That's what it is.
Oh my gosh.
No, you're fine.
The Englishman. One of them voted for the Englishman.
The Englishman.
And the British guy. Oh, yeah. It looks like, we have a winner.
I only got my business cards as of yesterday. Okay. I know. I didn't think I hear this.
Ooh, I think I got this.
We're not gonna have voter fraud, are we? On election day.
I'm gonna put it right here.
You know?
Yeah, Eddie was here already.
I'm gonna leave them right here. Okay. I have to go vote. So, first of all,
Let's say you use
aw, thank you. participating. Where is he, my super guy? Thank you for participating. All right. But it appears that we have a super debater who is going to be coming back next year to defend his title. And look, no motor car, they're all right here. I got the Englishman and the British guy. It's just about time.
It's not a difficult name to remember.
It's too funny.
We go to Central.
Thank you.
Wow, I haven't heard that name in a while.
I got a couple of. Okay. I just got a couple of little things here that I'm gonna go in. So this one is. Look, Dennis, you got beats.
I got beat off. Thank you. Yes, it does.
Yes, perfect for today. Let's do it.
Say something.
Richard Gonzalez, born in the USA. There. Give it to your love. It's just a little time. Sure. Elvira. They're all, themed, of course, because it's election day. Mark, look, you're gonna look awesome. Where is he? Se fue. He knows. I was gonna say, he took class here. Look, oh, okay, guys are getting all the tools. That's funny.
Some type of cloth mix.
Jen!
I'll just put it in the truck. Thank you. Maybe the
Jen, I got your
Probably from the weekend drag shows.
Just a little something.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And Olga. Aquí estoy. Olga Romano. Toma, mamá. I want to take And we're done. Thank you all again for joining me. There's stuff back there. There's going to be more signs.
It's too early for all that.
Muchas gracias a usted. My mother used to say, con la Virgen, con los santos, con Dios, and my mom didn't know what to say. Oh, I know.